Hello everyone and welcome to MEIOU and Taxes 2.0. This is Genoa round 2. So the previous campaign there were quite a lot of problems. I had no idea what I was doing, as I'm sure came across. And I gave the estates all kind of privileges. I declared a stupid war on the Papal States. All kind of things happened. So I've decided to start again. I hope that doesn't upset you too much. We weren't really that deep in. We'd mostly just been learning the mechanics and exploring around. So let's start again. And let's see if this time we can do it better. This is a pop-up that I closed before I started the previous campaign. We no longer control any land in Italy. Our Crimean traders are no longer suffering directly from the loss of access past Constantinople. It gives us trade power in Andalusia. What? And then it doesn't. I think that gives you extra trade power in Crimea. Let's see. No, it doesn't say it is. It's really weird. So this, it's a beta. There you go. The other reason I've restarted is that there's been an update. We are now on 1.19.02. So there've been some patches, there's been some changes. For instance, I believe, I can't check it, but sending out runners now costs stuff. But there's all kinds of reasons to never do that anyway. Right, let's I'm probably going to keep my whole fleet. And I'm expecting maybe some imminent conflict with Aragon. Something I found, I don't know if this is in this mod or if I've just never realized this in vanilla. Trade ships, I think it's in this mod, but trade ships absolutely destroy galleys. Like, there's no reason to build a galley, as far as I can tell. They cost, well, how much less maintenance? Yeah, okay, so they're cheaper. But if you're going to fill your naval force limit, and come on, we're a trading republic, we're going to fill our force limit. I mean, I think it's all about the war cogs, honestly. The other thing about this campaign that's worth noting is that my objectives are different. In the previous one, there were no objectives. But basically, I think we should control Genoa. I want all of this. Maybe we'll let the Pope keep Rome, but we want all of this. And I don't want more than that. So lots of you have been begging me to do a kind of tour campaign in the comments. And I think this is it. We're going to control Genoa, and that's it. We might also take important centers of trade outside of Genoa. I'd like to take all these important centers of trade and things, but beyond that, I don't think we'll take much land. So, for example, our invasion of Africa would basically include exclusively taking these important harbors. I think that could be a really good fun way to play, similar to the High Hamburg campaign, which I discontinued a while ago. So, we'd also, we want to take Constantinople, we want to take, a couple of important cities, but not just, okay, we're going to take this land and then this land and then this land. We're going to make it very strategical, very tall. These cities, here and here, are going to be the shining jewels of Europe. Okay. The other thing I now understand is the Italian power score. Let's let a couple of days here pass by, because this mod does a bunch of calculations to start with. But first off, reclaim Matrica. Where is Matrica? From Trebizond. That seems like an extremely doable first war, actually. We have a core here. There's a fishing harbour there. That sounds pretty good. Alright. Obviously, the first war we're in is going to be dealing with... it was a mistake. I should have creating an army for our nation first. Well. We live and we learn. We're going to pursue religious tolerance, naturally. Because secularism is overpowered compared to fanaticism right now, in my opinion. Okay, our church influence hasn't been calculated yet. We're going to work on trying to lower that as much as possible. We're probably not going to convert anyone. Something I've discovered, I've done a bunch of off-camera campaigns. I did a really long campaign as the Ottomans. I conquered, this area here, basically. But converting people, it sucks. It's so hard to do. So we're basically going to try and be super tolerant. We might take humanist ideas. Got trade ideas going at the moment, which is pretty great. Trade ideas are really good in this game. I think the trade system in MEIOU and Taxes is significantly more potentially profitable than base game. Okay, yeah, probably. I mean, we might go straight up humanist because the extra tolerance, the idea cost especially, although culture ideas calls to me because of, firstly, the Republican tradition and idea cost and tech cost. Although also, of course, plutocratic. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with that as and when it arises. The other thing I'm going to do this campaign is I'm going to try and centralize the Republic, which is controversial because it does cost the Republican tradition. But I now understand how this modifier works better than I used to. When you have it at 50, it gives no modifiers. Those things that it's saying are modifiers are actually just reductions of a modifier that you have as base. I hope that makes sense. So I think we're going to try and go high centralization to get that yearly inflation reduction is nice. And the tech cost is really good as well as, of course, the autonomy. It's fantastic. So what we're starting with, we're a kingdom. That's pretty nice. Got plentiful manpower. And the language of the Vatican. That's the other big thing in this campaign. We are going to hold the Curia in an iron fist. We're going to have all the cardinals. You can do things to affect where the cardinals are in this mod, which is so good, so cool. We're going to try and make all the cardinals exclusively in Italy. The papacy is Italian, and we are the Italians. We're going to rule this area, and we're going to have all the cardinals. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, let's get started. Let's pop out the outliner here. I do like the little tweaks. They've made the outline look a bit prettier. The UI improvements. Apart from these icons, I think they're silly, but all the other UI improvements are fantastic. So we are in... Is this a defensive war? How can you easily tell that? I don't actually know. Good lord. I played this game for 2,800 hours. How do you tell who's the aggressor in a war really easily? Like, attackers have won X number of battles once the battle's happened, but... Oh, this is embarrassing. I mean, I guess I can check if I can demand the defensive war support from the estates, would be the way I can think of right now. So we're going to go and siege down our cores down here, get that war dynamism, and steal those. That seems good. All right, so the court event, which is this one, will fire. Ooh, yeah, so it's a new patch. There's new options. Tell me more about this additional restrict. Onto the game with additional tags, or onto the game without additional tags. Now, additional tags are lots of extra releasable nations, I believe. So we're going to go without, just because adding more stress to this system seems like a terrible idea. So here's this Italian power thing. I'm not going to read all of this, I am afraid, but I'm going to summarize it for you. So basically, this whole region, the Italian region here, which I believe I have bound, here. So you've got, oh wait, why would you make Provence and Western Italy the same colour? That's a moronic idea. Oh no, I just removed regions. Hang on, let me just put that back in. Regions. No, I removed areas. Gosh darn it. There we go. Okay, so the Italian region, which is here, 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 and then of course all that down to the south, is all affected by this Italian power score system. Okay, so you've got local, regional, major, dominant, and menacing powers. We are currently, what are we right now? We are 5, so we're not yet a regional power, we're a local power. So if I look at our modifiers, we are a regional Italian power. That gives us all these things. Some of that, pretty freaking good. Yearly papal influence, fantastic. Idea cost, fantastic. Mercenaries, total garbage. Advisor costs down 33%. Oh my god. That's so good. But the aggressive expansion rate plus 15%. Now 15%, you're thinking, that's not that bad. But as you get up to the higher one, so I played as Milan off camera, and when I get up to menacing, I think it's plus 100%. So I was Milan. I had 0 aggressive expansion with everyone in the world. I did a conquest war for Piedmont. I wasn't really expecting to be able to take it. I wanted to see just how bad it was. If I demanded Piedmont in the peace deal, I got a base of 160 aggressive expansion with everyone in the world. Like, not everyone in the world, but everyone in Christendom, pretty much, would join a coalition against me. This is going to be really important. This is why it's going to be really crucial that we stay the Curia controller, we get all kinds of things to reduce our aggressive expansion impact. It's going to be a while before we become crazy high on this list, obviously, because it's basically controlled by how much you blob in Italy. Okay, I don't think we need this fort turned on right now. Although we have some unrest. I think it hasn't calculated communication. Yeah, it hasn't calculated communication distance yet, so that's why we got a bit of unrest. Let's give it a couple of days. Okay, so here's the Italian balance, which explains it. Our country is now considered a regional Italian power. Is that an upgrade? Well, quote-unquote upgrade? No, that's what we were before already. Cool. Looting policy. Now, this is something... Let's just go to these ones. Yeah, we're going to have New World plates on, and the Blooming Renaissance will be affected in the future. It will give us various effects on our country in the future. So the looting policy. Now, loot scare, which is something that should absolutely be in this pop-up. It should warn you, if you take these two, you're going to get loot scare, is crushing. It's amazing how much you can make everyone in the world detest you if you loot too much. So I think we're going to go with let them loot. The other thing that's good about let them loot is you don't get these siege ability and discipline malices. So I think for now, you know, we want to be friendly. So we're gonna let them loot, but not loot heavily. Let's recruit a general. That's like the worst role we could possibly get. We do have 10 army tradition in the game's defense. So the game will, at the beginning of next year, begin training some troops for us. But my experience of this war from our previous Genoese campaign is that Aragon will lose at sea. So we're going to go over and try and find their navy while we loot down these. There's 2 level 1 forts, so that's going to take 2, ideally 3 people to siege down each one. National decisions available. Convince the Pope to appoint a cardinal. Now, so I mentioned the cardinal system. It's a really good system. First off, you can convince the Pope to appoint a cardinal. And what are the requirements for that? You just have to be at peace with them. I think you have to not already have a cardinal as well. And then you can get 1 cardinal. Now, when you're the curia controller, you get to decide each time the Pope dies, should we appoint new cardinals and how many should we appoint? So basically, you want to appoint as few as possible to keep your percentage of the cardinals higher. So we're going to convince the Pope to appoint a cardinal. It costs 25 ducats. It's expensive, but it's good. We're not going to donate lands to the church because we don't want this church influence getting higher. Hasn't calculated that yet. A lot of calculations happen. It's like the 5th, 6th, 7th of February. So do please excuse the momentary slowdown of the game that will take place when we get to the next month here. So they're not. Yeah. See, I'm not finding their fleet. My fleet can probably 1v1 theirs pretty easily. Emperor of the Romans has announced Ottomans as a rival. It's groundbreaking. Pass the Witchcraft Act. We lose some piety, so we're going to do it. Are we totally secular? No, I've seen the wrong tooltip. So here's why secularism is better. Okay, when you're 100% secularism, which is known in a lot of tooltips as piety, when you have minus 100% piety, you get all of those benefits. And look at those benefits. Trade efficiency up 12%. That's a flat 12% increase on your trade income. That is so good. Advisor costs down. That's amazing. Advisors are a huge expense in base game and in this mod. Tolerance of heretics and heathens up by 2. That's so good. Tolerance of the truth rate down 1 is pretty bad, but if you're going to have unrest, it's probably not going to be in your own religion's provinces. So it's not as bad as it seems. And of course, that yearly Republican tradition is very nice. We are currently gaining 2.13. We could do with getting our traders in control, which will almost certainly happen just naturally, because they give you extra Republican tradition. Naval tradition affects them. Army tradition affects aristocrats, and I don't know what affects the guilds, to be honest. The guilds are the best for Republican tradition, but these guys do give you 25% trade efficiency and an extra merchant, which is pretty crazy. So, speaking of merchants, we've got one collecting in the Crimea, and collecting in... No, where's our other one? He's transferring in the Aegean. We don't currently have very much trade power in the Aegean. That seems like a waste. We're transferring 0.06. Let's try collecting here. I think it is sensible to collect in the Crimean region, but probably won't be for very long. Although if we can retake this and maybe take Theodoro, that's an important trading area, so I can justify taking this to myself, secure our control over the Crimea. Yeah, that seems good. Then maybe the thing is, we need more control over the Aegean so that we can transfer it, because you really want to be collecting only in one place. It's not so important now because we've got 2 merchants, but for every merchant you have transferring trade, you get a plus 10% bonus to your trade power in your home node, as long as you're not collecting anywhere other than in your home node, which is pretty strong. Alright, where's your navy, Aragon? I'm concerned by its absence from these ports. I don't want it to drop troops off on my capital and ambush me while I haven't got very many troops. I didn't see any February slowdown. What's going on? Have we got the estates yet? We don't have the estates. No. We would... Oh, there it is. There it is. You can see it slowing down now. Okay. Until it was supplanted by nationalism in the 19th century, religion was the driving force of the world. So we're going to go with... I think I want all news, really. We're not in a hurry. I'm in no hurry. Okay, so that was the slowdown, and now we have estates. Huzzah! The state hasn't appeared yet. Interesting. Burghers. Okay, it's an offensive war. There we go. Now we know. Do I want to take their money? I think I really do. Like, I really like taking money off the burghers, because income is tough in this game, in this mod. Sorry, they don't have any troops yet. Oh no, these guys do. Let's get the troop from the lesser nobles. An alliance offer from Milan. That is a tempting proposition. We can only have 2 allies. I'd love to ally the Pope. That's not the Pope. That's the Pope. Ooh, they take it right now. I think we should ally the Pope. They're allied to Florence. Pope, man, no. We might have to break that alliance up somehow. I think we've got to ally the Pope, because the papal influence game is real important. Let's ally him and let's ally Milan. I think that's a good play. Yeah. Give me the Papal Alliance. Give me the Papal Alliance. Where's the... Hello? What? Is my alliance limit 1? Oh, my alliance limit might be 1. Well, Milan is very strong. I mean, they don't look like it right now because they're in a war, at least. But they're a really strong contender in this region. Not France. Hope Man. We recently sent a diplomat and we can't send another one. Yeah, it looks like we can't actually get allies with them right now. Maybe I need my... Maybe it's because my court level isn't being calculated yet. I think that's what it is. There you go. Come on, pick these guys up. Hey, there's some. That is the Sicilian Navy. Where are you going? We'll arrive in the Western Mediterranean on the 12th. Oh, here. Okay, come at me then. No, I didn't think so. Can I catch them? 22nd. 20th. Haha! We got them. Now, hopefully we can capture this some of these transports from this galley. We'd probably sell them. Selling ships does increase your inflation. So, not sure about that. We won and we did not catch anyone. That is a shame. Let's come up here. Oh, there's the Aragonese fleet. Okay, we damaged. We got one damaged galley. I'm not too concerned about that. 3 transports. Sorry, 3. 3. What are they called? Warcogs? Warcogs. 7 galleys. I think we could take them. Let's see if they take the fight. They will not take the fight. Let's chase them down. Ooh, with an additional 1 trade ship from Trasdamara. I think we've got this. I think we could win this. Ooh, especially if they engage us first like that. Can I turn down... Is it affect volume? The battle sounds? Yeah, there we go. Alright, 27 on 27. No? What is this? That's the engagement width. Okay, cool. We're engaging all the way along the line, I think, right? A couple of our... Why have you engaged with cogs before you've engaged with war cogs? That is a terrible idea. Alright, here it is. They've got a general. That's not great. Alright, let's not lose any ships here. I'm going to look very carefully, and if it looks like we're about to lose a ship, I'll retreat. But look at their morale getting decimated here. Every time one of their ships sinks, they lose a substantial chunk of morale. Okay, we have still not got any ships really in danger of sinking yet, and their morale is about to break. The thing about war cogs is that you just crush their naval morale. Speaking of naval morale, we should take a look at our ships. Sorry, our ideas. So we start with 10% trade efficiency and -1 interest per annum. The interest per annum is not hugely important because if you're playing optimally, if you're not playing in a hugely gimmicky way, as some do, then basically you shouldn't be taking loans, is my opinion of it. So that's not that useful, but I mean, we'll take loans inevitably because I'll muck up or I'll need to like fund plague maintenance or something. Stability decrease interval -7.5. That's really quite good. I really like that. You've got morale of navies, worthless in base game, super important in this. Trade power abroad, fantastic. Ship costs, fantastic. That covers maintenance as well. 15% tracks modifier, fantastic. 50% naval force limit. We're going to have so many trade ships, you won't even believe it. And we've got -10% shipbuilding, that's rubbish. And then you've got 20% naval maintenance. That's pretty good. It's a solid idea set. It's clearly not a ground-based big war idea set. We did lose some ships. How did this happen? But I captured 2. We lost one of each of these ships, and we captured one of each of these ships. Nice. Perfect. All right, well, let's go repair. Ooh, they're going here. That's interesting. It means we can guarantee a fight with them if we come and trap them in. National decisions. Request trading privileges to Constantinople. This thing seems bugged. Oh, well, I mean, it was bugged in the previous patch. I guess we got to try it. Ooh, Sicilian trade. Oh, I can't do that at the same time, apparently. Okay, well, I mean, Sicilian trade rights seem less important. You can transfer from here directly to Genoa rather than having to go through Naples. But Sicilian trade rights sounds tempting. If this one's bugged, maybe that one's not. So hopefully we're going to get some trade power off of Constantinople here. It gives us +20 in this region, I believe, which gives us pretty strong argument for transferring to here and then transferring up here. Having our merchant there, it can't just be having our merchant here that's made us suddenly jump up to 1.5. We'll have to, we'll test it. All right, so it's 1.5 this month. Recall the merchant. Let's see what it actually is. You can't trust the predicted numbers. All right, let's move to here, and then we'll send the damaged ships into repair while blockading. And coincidentally, one of those damaged ships is going to be a cog, which can transport this Lovely chap over here. Okay, let's see what our income's like at the end of this month. It was, what, 1.5? Truce with the Romans have ended. Truce with Venice has ended. 1.51. Quay? What? How? How did it go up again? Capable trader faction probably just happened. Alright, so let's collect from trade here. And let's transfer from the Aegean, because we suddenly have all this trade power, because we've got Constantinople trading privileges. Awesome. And, yeah, it is still bugged. That is a shame. Oh, but did we actually lose it? Yes, we did. It hasn't recalculated. Probably will at the end of the month. Maybe it's still a good idea to transfer from here. Let's have a look at what that seems like at the end of this month. Alright, let's bring in the extra guy. You can go and merge up with the main fleet. So now we've crushed their fleet. Like, I think we should bring down the hammer, right? We should stay on them. So once you guys have repaired up, trading privileges renewed. Promise to renew your trading privileges. Maybe it wasn't bugged. Maybe I just totally misunderstood. Because they frequently roll over. Like it's once every 5 years or something. Maybe that just happened to be the pulse. Okay, so we're transferring to Genoa. Only 2.27 now here. Maybe we should transfer from here. Let's wait for another end of the month. See if those privileges end again. And then let's check out what the difference it makes if we transfer from them. We have won this siege. So now if you take a look at this province, probably next month. Ooh, national decision. Loot pool. Right, yeah, we don't need to do that. So there is this thing as the Crown of Italy. And you can form Piedmont Sardinia. Ooh, we might do that, actually. To just make you... I want to stay a republic. Do you gain a possibility to change national ideas? Okay, that's great. So we don't need to change national ideas. Ask the Crown of Italy, you have to be a monarch. We're not going to do that. We're a trading republic. I think we're going to embrace our nature, the trading republic. Right, so let's this war is miles off ending, so we're in no hurry to seize this one. Let's siege this one down, and let's kill that navy. Might be a good idea to not have the cogs. Like, how bad are the cogs? I'm pretty sure they're worthless. Cogs, yeah, they're worthless. And they've got some hull points in there, but in terms of taking up engagement with, I'm not so sure. Anyhow, that is the end of the first episode of Genoa 2.0 in MEIOU and Taxes 2.0. Let's call it there. I do hope to see you in the next one, where I expect we shall win this war. We shall muck around with trade, make loads of money from pulling all this money out of the Aegean. And yeah, until then, thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.